this love pain. Anybody got a prayer for this love pain? Yeah. Ooh, I need it for this love pain. Anybody got a prescription? Yeah, for this love pain. Anybody got a pill like a pop for this love pain? Anybody got a prayer for this love pain? Yeah. Ooh, I need it for this love pain. Anybody got a prescription?
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I don't know if you can hear me because my computer's like all froze up. I hope you can hear me. But I am going to sing this morning song because that's what I do. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night. Everything is gonna be all right. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Excuse me for 1 second. I gotta pick up something off my computer. Off my printer. So I hope everyone's doing well. I'm going to be like really quick today. My hair looks a hot mess, but I don't know what's going on with this hair today. Maybe I'm having a bad hair day. Anyway, it'll be fine. All right. So, first off, if you are new to the broadcast, I'm using StreamYard. Please give StreamYard permission for me to see your comments. Please make some comments. Like and share this video if you think someone that you know may be interested in this topic or needs to hear this message. Also, if you are looking at the broadcast from either Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, on YouTube, please like and subscribe to the channel. On Twitter, just retweet. Okay, so I want to talk about making peace with your past and why you should do that. So this morning, every morning we have a daily inspiration call with our company. And today, Miss Jackie Pippins she gave so many words of wisdom. But one of the things that really stuck out with me was to make peace with your past. Because in order to do that, a lot of us have to realize we have to let go of the past. Now, I'm not saying that you have to forget everything that's in your past, just those things that are like holding you up, things that are making you think that maybe you can't do something, or things that are making you think that you don't deserve something, or what are those things that are holding you back from life. Sometimes when things are in our past, especially if we are holding grudges, man, that could be something that could really just make you feel yucky, just yucky. And then after a while, you start blaming that person for things that's going wrong in your life. But if you let that go, if you let that past go, you no longer have that excuse. And sometimes, a lot of people are holding on to that excuse because they want an excuse. So one of the things that she told us of an incident that happened with her and her sister who she adored and she admired her, and she would do anything for her sister. And then she got married, and she and her husband were trying to buy a house, and her credit was ruined. And she was like, well, how in the world could my credit be ruined? I haven't done anything. This is the first time I ever trying to buy a house. But what she found out after some investigation was that her sister had stolen her identity. And she had bought up a whole bunch of stuff, got an apartment, got all these jewelry, got all this stuff in her name, and just basically ruined her credit. And what she said was she had to let that go. It hurt, of course, because, that's her sister. But she had to let it go because she had to let go and make peace with that past, because that was part of her past. It was not going to help her in her future. because holding on to grudges or holding on to something like that doesn't help you, right? It just makes you upset, and you don't want to take that into your future. And you've heard talk about forgiveness, right? Because forgiveness is not for you. It's just not. It's not for you. I mean, not for the other person. I'm sorry. Let's switch that around. It's not for the other person. It's actually for you. It's actually for you to release and let go, because once you release and let go, you'll find that you feel so much better. And when you forgive someone, it releases you from that hurt and pain. It doesn't necessarily release them. It doesn't do anything for them, because some people they don't really feel that they need to be forgiven. But for you, because you were hurt, you need to forgive them so that you can move on with your life, right? Living in your past is not going to help you to design your future. Now, personally, I had to forgive my father. And I'll tell you that story. I think I told you guys that story before, where my father was abusive to my mother. And he tried to kill the family a couple of times. And so we were living in fear of him for quite a while. But we got out of that. But it took me years. I mean, what was I, in my 50s? Yeah. When I finally let it go. I call myself forgiving him once before, but I didn't really, because I kept hanging on to that. And I saw the result of that in my relationships with other people, especially men. And so when I finally did let it go, I felt different. I felt the release. I felt free. And so you have to let those things go in order to free yourself. If it has nothing to do with the other person. Well, why did you forgive them? Because they did da 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 da. Well, okay, they did that. You know, and another thing that she said this morning that one of the people that I follow, Lisa Nichols, says all the time is that what other people think of you is not your business. And whether or not that person, you ever even talk to that person, because you don't in order to forgive somebody, you don't necessarily have to talk to them. You can forgive them in your heart. You can write a letter. You can talk to them if you wanted to. If you wanted to just do a face-to-face and talk to them, great. Then that's if that's how you feel that you can release it, then do that. But maybe it's just writing it down in a journal and saying, I release this and I forgive this person for what they did to me or what I perceived that they did to me. And I let it go. And then just let it go. And once you really let it go, you'll feel different. Because, that first superficial letting it go that I did years before, I didn't feel any different. I was still angry. I was still like, I didn't have anything to do with. I still don't really have a relationship with my father, but doesn't necessarily mean because you forgive somebody that you have to let them back into your life, right? But it's like once the real forgiveness happened, my heart was released, and that's what you have to do with the past. Some things in your past you learn from. Well, most things in your past you learn from. But it doesn't mean you have to hold on to it, because unless it's a lesson that you can take and design your future with, let it go. I know it's hard. It's really hard sometimes to let go of past hurts or things in your past, or even past accomplishments sometimes can hold people back. I know it sounds strange, right? But some people live in their past accomplishments, and then they forget, wait a minute, I'm still alive. I can accomplish more. I can do more than that. That was not my best life. My best life is ahead of me. So however that looks for you, whether you're letting go of something that hurt you in the past, or letting go of your glory days in order for you to have glory days in your future, then either way, you're going to have to let go of your past. And I thank Miss Pippin so much, because I always love listening to her, because she always gives such logical advice. And then she relates it to a story that just marries everything together. So, I'm really grateful for her. And so just make peace with your past. And sometimes some hurts are harder for you to get over by yourself. And I've seen this commercial on social media. I think Jay Shetty advertises it. Mind Valley advertises it. It's a program called Better Health, and it hooks you up with a therapist, a psychologist, or psychiatrist, whatever. I think it's just therapist. It's a therapist, but there's no shame in going to therapy. Matter of fact, that's probably the strongest thing you could do for yourself, is to get help when you need it. Sometimes we think that, oh, well, I don't know, people might think I'm crazy. No, therapy is about you having somebody to talk to who has no skin in the game. Basically, they are neutral, and you can talk to them about anything. And guess what? It's between you and them. Whatever you talk about, because I went to therapy years ago. And I think my first 3 days in this person's office, well, it wasn't consecutive days, but my first 3 sessions, I just cried. It was just a relief for me to tell somebody that I didn't think was going to judge me for it. Sometimes that's why we keep holding on to things, is because we don't think we have anybody to talk to about it. That's not going to judge us for it. Now, mind you, we're not supposed to be concerned about what other people think, but we're human and we do sometimes. But if you need help outside of family members, outside of friends, or outside of people who you think are going to judge you, there are therapists available for you to go to. Because releasing your past is also releasing all the hurt, all those things that seem to be holding you back. And whoever that person is that hurt you, whether you want to do a face-to-face conversation, whether you want to write a letter to them, whether or not you just want to write it in your journal, or whether or not you just want to say it out loud to yourself that you forgive them, then do that. Because I promise you will feel the difference. Because holding grudges makes for a heavy heart. It really, really does. So, guys, I hope that was helpful to someone. And that also, one last thing I want to say is that also rely on your faith. Because your faith in God, or whatever your faith is in, will help you to get through some of these things, and also to help you find another avenue to put your attention to, because whatever you give your attention to, it grows, right? And if you're giving your attention to hurt and pain is going to keep coming into your life. So, hold on to your faith, hold on to God's unchanging hand, as they say. And then just pray about it. And it can really help you tremendously to have something else to concentrate on and believe in, and then let go of that past. So I hope this was helpful to someone out there. And if you found it helpful, please like and share this video with someone else who may be able to, who it may help. And I appreciate you. And I will see you on my next video. But in the meantime, I wish you peace, I wish you love, and I love you guys so much. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye.